When I was 13, I got into the dope game.
13?
13 years old. I ain't had no business. Started smoking weed that summer before going into the 8th grade.
At 13?
Yep. One of my friends his dad used to grow it. He had it. I smoked, started hustling right before I got into the 8th grade, and then life would just start spiraling down.
How long were you hustling for?
Man, from 13 to 30.
Get out of here.
Swear to God, 13 to 30. I got my CDL at 30 years old, and I threw away everything.
You start driving trucks. Mm-hmm. You start making decent legal money.
As I started taking on that responsibility, I had to really learn how to turn the street off.
How'd you find real estate?
So what I was doing, I'm just, driving trucks, unlearning a lot of the bullshit that I learned. I come across wholesaling. Mm-hmm. I come across Flip Man. Mm-hmm. Then I came across you. Got this guy out of Florida. He was ready. On that 14th, he signed. We got an extension. We got that joint closed. I made $2,500. That was my proof of concept.
Done. $2,500.
Yeah,
let's roll.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Maxwell Show. I am your host, Max Maxwell. Hope you're doing well. New year, new you, all that stuff. Been saying that for the last 20 years. When you finally actually going to do something, today or this year may be that year. I hope so, right? But it's more than just words. You got to put action behind it. And my next guest put action behind his words and been able to change his entire trajectory of his life. And I see this story a lot, but I don't really get to meet the people behind those stories. And his story is very genuine and at the same time unique, but very common at the same time. But he did what he was supposed to do and changed the path of his life. And so without no longer further ado, my guy Art Hughes from Cleveland, Ohio.
Thank you.
The Ohio.
Yeah.
No, it's cold up there, bro.
Yeah, it's cold. I'm talking about Christmas was below 20.
No, we can't do that. Yeah. We don't even talk like that. Because you guys have that lake effect.
Yeah, and it's brutal.
So that's when that big lake up there, what is that called?
Lake Erie.
Lake Erie, yeah. Lake Erie. The wind blows off of that and it just creates its own unitendra.
It's brutal. Some of these years it's been, it feels like it's below 25 in some of these winters.
Yeah, I'm Jamaican. I just can't do that, bro.
Yeah. I'm starting to, reevaluate my situation now. Like, hey, why am I still doing this?
Because the cost of living is great.
Yeah, that's probably why.
And the real estate is great too. Talking about real estate, you're a real estate investor.
Yes.
You're a wholesaler.
Yes.
You've done some flips.
Yeah.
You're also in the transportation industry, truck driving.
Yep.
So that's interesting to me. So you currently still have a job?
Currently still driving a truck.
People always say you got to quit your job to do this. You got to quit your job?
No, not at all. I drive a truck. I can talk on the phone all day. Mm-hmm. I have a Bluetooth.
I know.
You can't even hear the truck.
Yo, tell me. I got one question. This is off topic. Why every truck driver keep their Bluetooth on everywhere they go?
Yeah, see, I don't know that because I'm out of that truck, I turn that joint off. I'm not about to be.
Yo, I be seeing them anywhere.
Yeah, they got it with them on the weekend and not even
Disney
working.
World. Hell with it. Been off for 5 days. They still got it on.
It's a noise canceling, and I guess you just get used to it. But soon as I shut it down for the day, I'm turning it off and throwing it in my bag.
You back to regular.
Back on until.
All right, so you're not one of them.
No, not.
All right, so enough with the goofy stuff. No, but seriously, man, you got an interesting story, and we were talking over lunch and just really catching up, and you kind of telling me some of the things that has transpired in your life, and to where you are now, and it's good to hear that story. And not only that, it's good to hear what your intentions are with I really want everybody to hear this. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason why we're here. We're here because people need to hear your story because there's so many individuals like yourself that don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So before we get to where we are now, tell me a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about Art, growing up. Tell me some stuff.
Yeah, so I grew up on the east side of Cleveland. My mom and dad were together when I was born. They used to live in the projects and they moved to this neighborhood when I was 2. It's kind of project adjacent. It was still the hood,
yeah.
So growing up over there, you just have your built-in friends from the neighborhood. you know, and she tried her best to like shelter me from, you know, what
All
was
that
going
nonsense.
on.
Yeah.
Because like right up the block, everything was happening. It was just a dope block right there. And you know, when I was like 8 years old, I like got a chance to see some, like my first violence, where my neighbor's car got blew up. Her brother's car got blew up like right outside the house.
Out of some movie stuff?
Like out of the movies type stuff. We saw it the next morning walking to school. We see the car sitting there.
Crispy.
Crisp. Yep. I'm talking about I'm just in the bed and just boom. I remember vividly flying out of my bed and crawling down the stairs. I didn't know what was going on.
So somebody intentionally blew up the car?
Yeah. You know, yep. Blew up the car. And, you know, he was into a bunch of foolishness, and I guess people got at him, you know, and he wasn't really for the right thing, so he was doing a lot of bull to,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it catches
that
up.
happened. So, you know, fast forward, just growing up in the house, it was kind of a toxic environment growing up. I mean, just the whole neighborhood,
yeah,
and my household. You know what I'm saying? So growing up in that, it kind of took a toll on me, because I kind of was like a bully a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what was going on in my house with my dad, I kind of took that out on my niece.
You replicate.
Yeah, just doing what I saw. So, you know, when I was 13, I got into the dope game. 13 years old. I ain't had no business. So I started smoking weed that summer before going into the 8th grade.
At 13?
Yep. One of my friends his dad used to grow it. He had it. I smoked, started hustling right before I got into the 8th grade, and then like life would just start spiraling down. Grades went to
So you're hustling in the 8th grade?
Yep.
13 years old.
13 years old, about to turn 14 that year. I turned 14 in November of that school year.
And you're just a product of your environment.
That's what was going on right outside of my door.
That was normal.
Yep. I mean, it was the norm. It was the norm. You couldn't really, I mean, it's one or two people that was able to stay out of that. They had active dads, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, everybody was just like in it at a young age.
Yeah. How long were you hustling for?
Man, from 13 to 30.
Get out of here.
Swear to God, 13 to 30. I'd stop. I got my CDL at 30 years old, and I threw away everything.
So back up. Before we get to 30, there's a lot of years in between 13 and 30.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, selling dope comes with a certain way of lifestyle.
Yeah, definitely.
You ever, been a part of violence where you get a hit, you get attacked, or scared for your life? Or
yeah, plenty of times. I done got set up, robbed, cars stolen.
Jail time?
I've just county time. It wasn't nothing like I had to go do a stretch.
Yeah.
But, you know, I had a guy one time follow me all the way to the west side, kick in somebody else's door, go in somebody else's door and rob me. I was like, it was crazy. Like, I ain't find out about it until like 6-7 months later who it was. It was somebody that knew me. Yeah. He ended up, getting killed because that was his lifestyle, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But somebody was in the penitentiary with him, and he was telling the story. Somebody that I knew. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't find out till like a year or so later.
Yeah. So you go into high school selling.
Yeah. With terrible grades.
Did you make it through high school?
Nah, not at all.
I mean, how could you when the streets is more lucrative than sitting in class?
Exactly. I mean, I used to, like, they were building these abandoned houses, so I'd go hide in the abandoned houses where they was building. My mom would go to work, and then I'm back outside. You know what I'm saying? I'm back on the block, just walking up and down the street, grinding.
And at this point, do the neighbors know that you're out in the streets?
The neighbors,
it's just part of life.
That's just part of what's going on. Like, we used to sit on people's, sit on their porches on the late night, and they used to get upset, but then it's like, they ain't going nowhere. We just out there 2, 3, 4 in the morning.
Tell me your first and scariest account. It doesn't have to be first, but your scariest encounter with the law, where you're like, listen, I got to get out of this.
I would say I had caught a case at 28, doing some I ain't had no business doing. It even had nothing to do with selling dope.
So you did pretty good from 13 to 28.
Yeah, I was doing okay.
You didn't get too many
No,
crazy
I didn't
run-ins
get
with
too
the
many. Like, I had a bunch of run-ins with the law.
Okay.
But, like, I got on probation. Like, I caught a case at 18, 20, and 22, and they gave me this extensive probation where my PO was, like, hounding me like
you only
neck,
could use the
like,
bathroom at a certain time.
Yeah, she was on my neck, like, serious. Like, you got money, you got to pay these fines. Give me something. What you got in your pocket type? You got $5?
Wow.
You know what I'm
Shakedown.
saying? But, yeah, the one that really kind of made me stop, was like, made me really think, is I'm 28. And, you know, I was doing something I had no business doing that just goes against what I was, you know, was always doing. And then when I got caught, you know, those police looked like they was gonna shoot. You know what I'm saying? I seen red dots from the tasers though, but I just see the red dots and I'm like, oh, I'm damn near 30. I gotta figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta figure something out. And when I did get out, I went and signed up for school, right after. Like, something got to change.
So at 28, you get arrested, and you're like, okay,
Yep.
I've had a good run. I'm almost 30. Mm-hmm. It's something about a man approaching 30 makes him consider his entire life a failure.
For sure.
You know, it's kind of a fabricated number because it's the same thing. I had to move back home at 30 years old, you know, just from failed business opportunities and just whatever.
Yeah.
And 30 seems like you're supposed to have it all figured out. Mm-hmm. And so it's a common thing amongst men.
Yeah.
Is that 30, you got to have your shit together.
Yeah, like
30.
what are you doing? You know, I had an apartment, you know, but I had a criminal record. I couldn't move where I wanted to move.
Yeah.
You know, they, you know, everywhere was doing these background checks, and I wasn't the type to be like, oh, I'm about to get this apartment with this chick and with this apartment in this chick name. I was just like,
so
oh, cool.
it's crazy because I understand it, but I don't understand it because it's like, even at 28, if you're trying to really get your life together and you've done things, I don't know, 10 years ago at 18, and this criminal record is limiting you to where you can live, right?
Yeah.
Right in the same area that brought you up from selling dope at 13.
Man, I was like right around the corner.
You know what I mean?
Like right around the corner.
So even like the system and the rules don't allow you to mentally, you can try to mentally graduate from the situation, but physically move away from there is almost impossible because you can't get an apartment.
Man, I stayed in this apartment for like 5 years. And trying to move, and I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't move. Folks knew where I lived. It was like really like right around the corner from where I was hustling at. Like right around the corner. 42 seconds. I was close, that close. You know what I mean? And it just, you know, that was a lot. I was paranoid. That was what contributed to a lot of the paranoia because I live here and I don't know if, you know, somebody's going to come and try me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you got to always watch your back.
I was super paranoid already. Like I said, a guy followed me all the way to the west side. You know what I'm saying? And came in somebody else's house
and robbed you.
And robbed me. You know what I mean? So it was just like I was super paranoid. Like I remember having a chick over and she was tripping because I hear something and I'm up and I'm down, you know, out the windows and this guy sitting in the parking lot, they smoking and I don't know what they doing. I'm going up, hey man, what y'all doing over here? You know, y'all can't do this right here. Yeah. Because I'm super paranoid because I don't know I don't know what's going on. Anxiety on 10. Like that street life shit is traumatic for real.
It's survival mode.
It's traumatic, yeah, because you always in survival mode. Anxiety is always high. Yeah, always.
You're a prey. So you get trapped up and at 28, you go do any time for that?
I had to do like 40 days in the county or something like that. And then they let me out at like 32.
And so you get out and you're like, I need to change my life. Yeah. So what happens then?
So what I did was I started to pursue getting my CDL.
So what gave you that idea?
One of my homies I grew up with, he been driving for a while. He been made it out and was driving, and he used to always be like, "Man, when you gonna get a job?"
So he was into the same shit you were into at 13.
Yeah. And he was driving already, and he used to always be like, "Man, when you gonna get a job?" And he used to be showing me his checks and like, "Man, you gotta figure something out." You know. So when I did have to get out of that little 30 days or whatever, I went to ITT Tech first.
What, the commercials?
Yeah, I went there because I didn't know what to do.
ITT Tech.
It turned out to be a scam.
The guy with the hat to the side.
Yeah,
in the commercials,
something like that. Yeah.
That's funny.
And so what I did, I went to ITT Tech and I went a semester. They were selling the dream that we can, make some pretty good money.
Become a doctor.
Yeah. So, but the second semester come around and they redoing the money, and I'm like, whoa, hold up. You mean to tell me I'm gonna owe y'all $50,000 and I only could come out the gate and make 30?
Sounds like a bad investment.
I'm like, this don't even add up. I'm already I'm working at the trucking company because I made that $80 investment to get me to get my tow motor license.
Mm-hmm. What's that? What's a tow motor license?
Just drive the forklift. You just ride around on the forklift and
so
unloading the trucks.
You got certified.
That's how I got in the door because I was like, let me do something. This was on them, trying to get out.
Yeah.
But I keep getting pulled back. So I made that $80 investment and then was able to get this job that I'm at, that I'm at.
So you're like, I want to leave the street life alone. You say, look, I'm trying to go, you got time to go sit down 30, 40 days in county. I'm going to leave it alone. You invest $80 into getting forklift operator license.
Yeah.
And then how much they paying you?
So I got the forklift operator's license before I had to do that 30 days. So like I said before, I was making $5.15 in 04, $5.50.
And when? 04?
In 04. $5.50 at them just little
that's just
temp jobs.
It's strange to me though that like $5.50
like $5.15 for
in 04.
It was $5.50 in 04 at the temp agencies. And then I got that tow motor license and it went from $5.50 to $9. And then I got the job that I'm at now at $14.50. You know what I'm saying? So that $80 investment was able to get me in to make $14.50. Yeah. Which was way, you know what I'm saying?
It was way better than what you had back then.
So, but the thing was though, it was the environment.
So what were you doing for the $14.50 when you were at the same job?
Just driving the tow motor, unloading and loading the trucks up.
So you went that moved you up to the point where
I can make some pretty decent money.
Yeah.
But it was really the exposure to the environment that really started some type of change.
Like the workplace.
Yep. Me getting out of that toxic environment into this environment where people want to see you win. They got all these mantras up, success, teamwork,
those posters.
All that,
those posters at work.
So
teamwork and people walking up a mountain.
Exactly. and it's got the words at the bottom, and so just seeing that.
But that's interesting because you're saying just being in that environment, coming from where you come from, and seeing words of encouragement, seeing it written on a wall, and being a part of a team that wants to see you be better.
Yeah.
So just having a job at a place that cared, it could have been any job.
Right.
So that it's really up to that the core values of that workplace.
Exactly.
And the management.
Exactly.
Because you could have got any job, at, you know what I'm saying, at a place that wasn't like this.
Yeah.
So it was up to the management and the core values of that job that really meant you feel like you were part of something positive.
Yeah, 100%. Like that environment, the company culture there.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Tier.
The company culture.
Company culture there is top tier. Like still to this day. And every time we have the evaluations, I say, man, this is top
tier. So you went from forklifting, and you're still at this same company driving trucks. Now you went from loading trucks, now you driving them. Now you back.
I just happened to see. So they brought somebody in and started moving the trucks around, moving the trailers around, and I'm on the dock like, dang, he just come in, he doing what I'm doing.
And that's the truck with the little short nose.
Yeah. So he come in, he's a dock worker, but he comes start moving the trucks around. So I'm like, damn, I wonder how he did that. So I'm asking him questions about it, and I'm like, man, I think I can do that. Just watching him, and then I just happened to walk in on a conversation. The manager's like, man, we need to train somebody else on the yard horse. I'm like, I'll do it. Because I was already watching him like, I want to try that. And happened to walk in on a conversation, and they was like, all right, you sure you want to do it? I'm like, yep. And he put me right out there, and I started moving them joints around.
So let's move back a little bit, because your story is common for people that grow up in a certain area.
Yeah.
Right? And at 28, you get arrested, but it wasn't your first time getting arrested.
No, not at all.
And you say it was the age that made you say, I need to get my together. But what else during that arrest made you be like, because age is a thing. Because there's guys now that still do the same stuff.
Yeah.
And so, like, what was it? And the reason why I want to know is because somebody listening to this could maybe get a sense of motivation from your thought process during that time.
Yeah, a lot of it, is like I said, my homie, he was driving and he ended up moving, and he had this family life that I saw.
And you would talk to him?
Yeah, all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Facebook or something?
Yeah, all the time. Like because he moved out to Vegas, and we went out there All-Star Weekend, and he stayed. He stayed, and then I was going back and forth out there, and just seeing that family life, and was like, just start leaning towards that. Like, man, I'm looking at that like, damn, this looks peaceful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It looks peaceful.
He don't look like he's surviving.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to be in a survival mode.
Yep. And you just get tired of that survival mode, because it's like real, like I said, now that I know the words for it is, anxiety just be high. Always paranoid. Always.
Yeah. Because I'm listening to your story, and I'm just seeing the way you got out. And like, people are in the streets because of their environment. Yes, wow. It's a choice, but it's a choice of survival, whether it's money, whether it's partnership in gangs because you need the protection, or you feel like you're part of a family. But at some point they feel like they want to get out, but they don't know what they would do or where they would go. And you having a friend who came from the same place as you, who you then seen have a different lifestyle that you was like admired. Yeah. You admired his lifestyle.
For sure.
And then the event of you getting arrested, and then the event of you saying, I'm almost 30, I got to change something. And then you getting a job at $5.50 into a workplace for $5.50 an hour, into a workplace that had a great company culture that gave you encouragement to be a better person. And these posters you seen on the wall of encouragement, and it changed you, slowly started to change you. And I think that's important, that anybody going through these type of situations, because there's a lot of bright people in those situations you were in. It's clearly that you're a bright individual and you were in this situation, but you could have had a whole different path.
Yeah, for sure.
This is it's interesting, because these conversations make me really take a step back and really go down to the micro of people's situation, and understand that it's individualized, but this thing could change, like, because we just all got to put some effort towards it. I'm kind of at a loss for words a little bit, because I'm just trying to describe how I feel right now. But so you start driving trucks, you start making decent legal money.
Yeah, for sure.
And you start driving in the yard.
Yeah.
And then you go. How'd you graduate to the CDL part?
So I was driving in the yard, and one thing that I did learn, like, as I start being more involved at the job and start taking on that responsibility, I had to really learn how to turn the street off. You know what I'm saying? Because it just been so indoctrinated in me, like, just for years and years. So I had to be able to turn the street off, and to be able to, for them to think of me, to train me to do that. You know what I mean? Because I remember being at another terminal, and one of the guys, I used to just chop it up with him, and he used to ask me, how did I get my CDLs? And just as he got passed over for a full-time position. But I'm like, look at how you carry yourself. You carry yourself like you on the block.
How did he receive that?
He didn't receive it well. And I'm like, dude, I've been there. I was you, like, and he used to be like he was on the block in the break room. You know how that sound.
I'm picturing it.
Yeah, you know how
picturing
that
it.
sound. And I just pull him to the side like, bro, you got to change that. You don't. This ain't the block, man.
He on the block in the break room.
In the break room. You know what I'm saying? You know how those conversations go.
That's interesting.
And then he was upset because they passed him up for the full-time position. And I'm like, the reason why they passed you up is look at how you
on the block.
Look at how you carry yourself at the workplace.
Mm. So I see that you're married. You have a ring on.
Mm-hmm.
When did your wife come into the picture here?
Right before I got my CDLs. Like
Okay.
we were dating when I had caught that case, and I had to do those 30 days. And, you know, it was crazy. We had got into it right before.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go do those little 30 days, and she called me, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't answering. We had got into it before then.
She had no idea where you were.
She didn't know what was going on. And then I called her. She came and got me. You know what I'm saying? She came and got me and was like, you know, I'm making when I get the phone, it was about an hour away from Cleveland, as I was in Sandusky. And
I know where Sandusky is.
Yeah, so she, you know, got dressed and was coming to get me, and I'm just making phone calls, you know, checking my phone, all the missed calls and voicemails. And she came and got me, and, you know, I'm just talking. Things are I'm like, it's fucked up right now, you know. And she was like, well, if you need something, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, cool. She like, and then when I'm telling everybody else, all still, you know, dating a bunch of chicks, and none of them really cared. You know what I'm saying? None of them said
they want the money art. They want the art that got the dope art.
Yeah, so that was one thing. I was like, yeah, I started leaning more towards, you know, messing with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that she was like constantly evolving, trying to grow, trying to go back to school, get her master's degree, trying to, you know, just better herself. And it was like, I gotta step it up.
Yeah, straighten up.
Yeah. And you know, she was there when I was pursuing to get the CDL, and so I was trying to, you know, I was kind of fucked up. I ain't had really no bread. And when I was filling out these applications for loans trying to get it, my credit was trash back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
you know nothing about credit.
They ain't know nothing about it at all. So I got about 15, 20 no's. And then I just happened to be messaging somebody on social media, I don't know, and I was like, yeah, I'm trying to find a loan so I could go get my CDL. She was like, all right, try Sally Mae. Filled out the thing. They told me no. So I told her, she was like, I'll co-sign. She co-signed that joint, got it, went to school, and it was on.
Rest was history.
Yup.
So she's a big part of the path, helping you further go along that path.
100%. 100%.
How you enjoy being married?
Man, I love it, man. I'm going on 8 years.
Congrats.
You know what I'm saying? Going on 8 years.
Congrats. Yeah, I love being married too, man. It's like a built-in partner.
Yeah, man, for sure. It's just like, you know, just having that person that, you know, loves you unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And just, I couldn't have picked a better partner. You know what I'm saying? To raise our kid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That it's just like nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Just over these years, because like we've been together for 12 years and been married about to be 8. You know what I mean?
Dope.
So it's been work. You know what I'm saying? It's work.
It's been a ride. Of course it is.
I had to grow a lot because of the residue that I had on me from street life. You know what I'm saying? And what I saw, you know what I'm saying? What I saw in, you know, just no positive male figures nowhere. You know what I'm saying? None. So I don't know. I'm just operating with like this toxic energy.
Yes,
like
it's hard to draw a painting of something you've never seen.
Exactly. I
mean, that's just real simple. When'd you find real estate? How'd you find real estate?
So what I was doing, I'm just, you know, driving trucks, unlearning a lot of the bullshit that I learned.
How do you do that?
So cut off the music for sure, because you don't realize how influential that shit is.
Entertainment.
Yeah, shit is so influential. I've been plenty of times back in the day. Man, I got hoes in different area codes, and you know what I'm saying? When I'm messing with chicks out of the state, you know, you don't realize how influential it is. So, I had to, while I was driving, I used to work at night and just driving for, hours straight. So no music, all audiobooks, Les Brown, all of these guys that are talking, positive and just putting all that, because, your brain is like a computer. You put garbage in, you get garbage out. You know what I'm saying? So just feeding my brain with all of these audiobooks and, all of these just YouTube videos. So as I'm doing that, I'm just listening to all these people, and I guess I heard somebody talk about real estate, or talk about some books that they've read on, like the Rich Dad Poor Dads.
Yeah.
So I checked it out, dove into it, and I ended up getting my real estate license.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I still have a license.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know
so
that.
I went and got my real estate license. So I'm trying to market and do a couple of deals with people that I know, and I come across wholesaling. I come across Flip Man. Then I came across you. You know what I'm saying? And just was diving in to a lot of.
Shout out to Flip Man, he OG.
Yeah,
he's down in
Alabama. Yep. Yeah. So came across those and just really dove into it for about 30 days. And I just was like, shit, I'm out here. I'm about to drive for dollars. I'm riding around with it.
So you're using your driving time and
Nah, this was I was doing on the weekend.
Okay.
So I'm getting up on the weekend on the early morning side. I'm getting
driving
up
for
early.
dollars.
Yeah, I'm getting up early, hitting the bandit signs at 4. As soon as the sun come up, I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? Hitting the neighborhoods, and I'm writing it down. And I finally get my first deal 30 days later. So after learning about it, once I hit the ground running, I find something.
Yeah.
Guy was looking to sell the property. He only gave me 14 days to do it. November 14th, 2018.
Never forget it, huh?
Yeah. So that was the original closing date. So we get to the closing table. So I had 2 people back out of the deal because it was a 2-family, but it wasn't like they had all the blueprints and everything. It was a single. They turned it to a 2-family, and they never got the city to come back.
Wasn't legal. So
Yeah, they didn't get the city to come back and inspect to give them the
final
green light.
occupancy.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they had people living in there and everything. So
they had one last step they had to finish.
Yeah, one last step. So I had 2 people back out, and then I, got this guy out of Florida. He was ready on that 14th. He signed. We got an extension. We got that joint closed. I made $2,500. That was my proof of concept.
Done. $2,500.
Yeah,
Let's roll.
Oh hell yeah! This realtor.
I ain't seen no realtor check money.
Yeah.
So moving forward, you just keep grinding, keep learning.
Yeah, just keep grinding, learning. Get a couple courses.
Yeah.
Staying online. Just constantly trying to get better.
And you know what I like about you, Art, is like you're like, yo, my business is not perfect. There's a lot of things I got to work on. There's a lot of people that will come on here and be like, yo, I got this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. Be like, nah, bro, I'm doing deals here and there, and I'm getting more consistent with that and stuff like that. And that's what it's about.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, I'm making money.
Yeah,
but I want to make more money.
Better.
I'm
trying to get better to be able to do this thing.
Because you want to eventually, one day. You get to a point where you have enough assets or you make enough money, and maybe you stop driving trucks.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal.
Yeah,
I'm just keep pushing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have your ups and downs and taking hits. You take these hits and I just keep mashing the gas, man.
But the best thing is you're out of the streets.
Yeah, for sure.
You're out of the streets. You have a beautiful family. You have income coming in, and you got a side hustle. And as an investor, you've done some flips and stuff like that, and you're trying to grow and scale your wholesaling business now. And I think it just goes to show you that, you can come from anywhere and do this.
100%. Man, you just, for real, you just gotta keep pushing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you gotta really want it. I mean, getting money in the streets, that's easy, but it comes with a cost. Like, man, my peace. Not like truck driving built me a solid foundation. Peaceful. When I bought my first house, like the paranoia was gone. Like I couldn't come outside at night when I was in the street, just walk outside
with your flip flops on and go get the mailbox with a robe on.
Yeah, no. I used to be, constantly looking over my shoulder. Man, my street used to be super dark. I just come outside at 4 in the morning like ain't nothing, jump in the car and go. You know what I mean? It's just a sense of peace, and that is priceless.
Yeah,
it's priceless.
What's some of your biggest lessons that wholesaling and real estate has taught you?
Conflict resolution. So, I had to learn how to talk to people and resolve issues with my words. That's one thing. Because, dealing with contractors,
trust me, I know.
Yeah, dealing with contractors don't go
You went to one of my houses today.
Exactly.
And I got 6 feet of water in the basement.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm like, calm down, bro.
Right. So it's like, dealing with these contractors, dealing with people, they not doing what they supposed to be doing, it's kind of hard. And then when I was growing up, you handle things by putting your hands up.
Correct.
And I can't do that. I can't operate in that space as an adult. In this environment. You know what I'm saying? I can't operate in that space.
Consequences are great.
Yes, way more. And I got too much to lose. I've came too far and built too much to be able to throw it all away, socking a contractor in the face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he ain't doing the right thing. So that was a lot. That's one thing, that one of the biggest things is to be able to handle
conflict resolution
with these people and using my words and communication.
That's an important lesson. We were at lunch and you casually would mention that you have a therapist.
Yeah.
That's important.
Hell yeah.
Especially from the background. You got a lot of stuff you got to get
Man,
right.
Street life is traumatic, man.
Yeah.
Like, understanding why you are the way you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it definitely helps you understand why you operate the way you do. Like, just talking to her about, the past trauma, just being in the environment, being in the household that I grew up in, just like I know my parents were just operating with the information that they had. And whether that's good or bad, you know what I mean? They only know what they know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had some of that stuff rubbed off on me, and it doesn't work in my household. A lot of that it just doesn't work. So I have to get those old belief systems and just retrain my brain and get those old belief systems out and just, start operating with a whole new operating system for sure. Yeah. Because I got a family now. You know what I'm saying? I have a family. I can't be the way my dad, I can't be that way.
Can't repeat that.
That ends with me.
Yeah. What is your goal with this real estate? Where do you want to get to? Because I'm sure you spent money on masterminds. You've invested in yourself and self-education and books and courses, and you've seen what's possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Where do you want to take this?
Yeah, so the goal, I have my aspirational vision on my wall is to have my portfolio pay for my lifestyle.
So generate enough passive income.
Enough passive income to pay for my lifestyle. My short term, I've been reading this book, 12-week year. So how you break them goals down into the quarters. So, I got 3 quarters. 3 goals down for this quarter is to be able to become a better business owner, become a better leader, because I've had employees and I wasn't doing the right thing.
You know what I'm saying? You never do the right thing at first.
And now I'm learning to be a better business owner.
Yeah.
And to prioritize my health is another one. Prioritize my health.
Me too, man. Amen.
And then take the business and to be able to do a certain amount, to be able to have it predictable and scalable, to where I can just throw fuel on that fire.
That's why we're here today.
Yeah, exactly.
To get those methods out.
Yeah, for sure.
And shit like that. Nah, man, this conversation's been dope, and it's inspirational for you to come from where you come from, and then want to reach back and help other people try to see that there is other options. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's like you said, if you don't know, you don't know.
You don't. It took a long time for me. I didn't really know. Like, the crash of '08, I could have probably been crazy paid by now.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I had
From what you knew, you had money. Yeah,
I had a little bit of street money.
Especially in
like,
Cleveland.
Man, all these, I didn't even know how to go about buying a house.
Yeah.
At all. I wish if I would have, everybody got that. If I would have known.
Yeah, but let's try to fix that course for somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going down that same path.
To be ready, when that type of stuff, I didn't have the information.
Yeah.
And now now the information is plentiful out here.
You just got to know where to access it out there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of fish in the sea, but if you don't know how to, you don't know how to go out there and put your line in the water, you ain't gonna get nothing.
Yeah.
You're gonna die hungry.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I was like, what the I got this couple bucks. What the fuck do I do with it?
I know you don't know. You don't know.
I don't know, and I blew it all. You know what I'm saying? Just living life and
listen to music.
Yeah,
listen to what the music told you to do.
Exactly. In the bar, in the club.
Yeah,
trying to find chicks. It's just as you spend it, because the dope game kind of took a hit at that time too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just like
everybody was out of money.
Yeah, it was like damn.
So it's been cool, like being able to speak to you because it's like a real conversation. Like I'm sitting at the barbershop. But I call you the hood whisperer, right? Because you want to go back and talk to people. People don't, because they relate to people that's been there, done there.
Yeah.
If you had, 60 seconds to, whether it was the entire world listening to you or whatever audience you want, if you had 60 seconds, 1 minute, where everybody listened to you, what would you say? And before you answer it, I want you to look at that camera and talk directly to the world. So
what I would say is, like, if I can do it, you can. I mean, I come from the bottom of the bottom. Like, I still have a little bit of the street residue on me, but I've been able to make it up out of there, build a solid foundation, shake all of the negative, all of the limiting beliefs, unlearn a lot of the foolishness that I've been conditioned with by society, by, street life, being around a bunch of people that are just like me, been conditioned with, what it looks like to be a black man in America. So I've been able to shed all that mindset and be able to develop a new mindset, and to be able to build this foundation, be able to live a pretty decent life and raise my family and be able to take care of a family. If I can do it, you can do that too. Got to. You're living proof. Yeah, I'm definitely. Yeah, for sure. And I want people to follow you on Instagram because I'm encouraging you to speak more to people that need to hear what you need to say, and because it's important to listen to someone who's came from the same place you come from, or where you are now. Yeah. What's your Instagram? It's real estate _art _. Okay. Art Hughes on Facebook. And I'm challenging you to put out more content because it's a lot of people that have these stories, but they're selling you something, which is nothing wrong with that. Right. It's just that at this point, everything you're saying is so genuine. There's no motive behind it other than I want to see you win. At first, a lot of people that you're speaking to are not going to understand why you just want to randomly see me win. Yeah. And so you got to help change their mindset. Mm-hmm. And that's what I had to get my mindset changed. Being around folks like you, being in these masterminds, being with folks that are on that same path. They genuine, want to see you win. It's like, being in this environment, it's refreshing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I just, want to, try to tell people, if you get around folks that want to see you win, I mean, you ain't gonna have no choice but to win. Yeah. Like, you're challenging me. I got work to do. Let's go to work. You know what I'm saying? I got work to do. Let's go to work. All right, man. I appreciate you taking the time and coming out here and spending with me today. Yeah, for sure. Don't forget, you guys, if you're listening, which you are, because you hear my voice, do me a favor. Press the like button, smash the like button. Subscribe if you're not. Go follow my guy Art on Instagram. I'll leave all that below in the description. And
You know what it is. I'll see you next time. I'm your host, Max Maxwell, and this is the Max Maxwell Show. We'll talk soon. Peace.